So the main symptom or result of growing up in a toxic patriarchy world is an externalization of one's nexus of power. So power or validation or value is found from outside of the self. And the root of this problem, we'll just veer here quickly, is patriarchal religions. That's where this all comes from. So we're talking about Abrahamic religion, because Abrahamic religion only has a father god, and it's in the sky. It's a conceptual thing, and there's no mother, right? There's no equal mother. There's yang, but there's no yin. So that's a complete imbalance. So we have 2/3 of the world who believe in an Abrahamic religion, which is an off-planet sky god that has no equal mother. And we wonder why there is so much violence and distorted, toxic, masculine attributes happening in the world. So yeah, that's the kernel and the reason and the start of patriarchy. So you don't have to have grown up in an Abrahamic religion to be affected by patriarchal culture. There's still the externalization of power. How it plays out in religion is that if you're Christian, Jesus must come and save you. Allah must have mercy. Yahweh must have mercy, right? God is outside of the self. So in the religion, this Father God creates the earth. He thinks it's so sinful and disgusting, including us, and he can't look at us. So he disappears. He's an off-planet creator God, meaning the creation itself. Here's a piece of charcoal. Here's a leaf. None of this is God. God is away from this place. That's the basic root principle in Abrahamic religion. The Father has gone away. And even in Christianity, where there tries to be a restoration of that concept through the principle of Jesus, it's still this need to believe in Jesus in order to be saved. So you're still a piece of shit, and you need something outside of yourself to be redeemed, right? So one's point of power, the nexus of power, is not in the self. God is not in you, it's outside of you, and you must beseech this God to pull you out of your suffering, right? Because you're too sinful. Okay, so that's how it plays out in religion. How it will play out in culture, and you don't even have to have grown up religiously, although it affects religious people a lot, is that we have the need to get other people to validate your decisions, right? That need for an outsider to tell you that what you're thinking is actually on point. Is this correct? I mean, I'm crazy. Am I right? Am I right? Validate the way I'm thinking. Or it can play out on the other extreme, which is the opposite, which is I need you. I have to validate the way you're thinking. I'm the external Father God, and I will tell you if your decision is correct. I control everything here. My opinion goes. People come to me for my opinion. So we often have people needing to control in that way, or we have the masochistic role, which is I need you to help me make my decisions. I need you to validate what I'm thinking. I need you to value me. This can play out in interpersonal relationships or even in systems. I'm sick. This doctor is going to tell me exactly what I must do for my body. I'm not saying that doctors are wrong, but a lot of the time, I work with a lot of clients who've been absolutely traumatized by the medical industry because we look at systems to tell us how we must do life. Oh, this school system is going to tell me how I must raise my kids. Oh, all these external things are going to tell me how I must do things. So the power isn't coming from within, right? The power is coming from outside the self. We are looking to something external for the source of power. And the reason that this is essentially the obliteration of the matriarch or the feminine, because the feminine is naturally internal. Yang is when we externalize and we act on the world, right? Yang principle, we move in the world. Yin is an internal principle. Yin, the feminine, is intuition. Do you know how many people don't trust their intuition? Because all the systems around us tell us to doubt our bodies, tell us to doubt our root intuition. So we can even do patriarchy to ourselves in our minds. Like, say you have a deep impulse and instinct and you know what's right for you, but then your mind comes along later and it's like, do you think that's right? I don't think so. What would so-and-so think? I think you should probably, I'm going to undo that instinctive intuition you had, that impulse, the natural thing. So that mental game, when the mind does that, the mind is often the masculine and the heart, the body, is the feminine. So when our mind contends with our body's instincts and natural intuition, that's toxic patriarchy in our own being, right? When we allow other people to undermine our decisions or intuition, that's also toxic patriarchy. When we let systems tell us what to do, toxic patriarchy. When we believe in a God that says that you aren't God, toxic patriarchy. And I decided to actually do this video in front of a burnt tree, because this is ultimately the result of toxic patriarchy and patriarchal religions. It's the burning of the tree, and the tree is you. It's your root system, it's your connection to the earth, it's the acknowledgement that this earth is holy. This earth was created by an ineffable being, but if the ineffable were to become effable or were to become manifest, it would be this earth. God runs through every cell of this earth, every cell of my body and every cell of your body. And the heart is, was it 5,000 times stronger electrically and magnetically than the mind, right? And the heart is our bodies, it's our tree. We are the tree of life. And we burn down our tree every time we externalize our power, every time we look to somebody else to define us, every time we undo our instincts and our intuition with our mind. That's us killing the tree, burning the mother, because the mother is the natural thing in you. And, you know, all the cultures that have, which are usually indigenous cultures, that have a mother principle still embedded in their concept or their mythologies of God consciousness. So the Hindus, and I'm not talking about right-wing Hindutva, which has gone crazy, but indigenous cultures, there is Earth Mother and Sky God, Father, right? Earth Mother, Sky Father, and they are equal. And the way to touch or kiss the ineffable is through the earth herself. So through our bodies, through the very nature of our bodies, through the intuition, through all the feminine principles. But we live in a culture that has told us that those intuitions, those instincts are wrong. And especially in Abrahamic religion, that the body itself is evil. Can you imagine the body itself, the tree itself, the temple itself? The temple is evil. That's what I was taught in fundamentalist Christianity. The body is flesh, it's carnal, it's full of deceit. Cut off the body. Stay in the sky god conceptual mind. Over-analysis, fracturing of the brain. Trying to undo the body all the time. Because you're not allowed to grow in curves. You're not allowed to be a tree that grows in curves. You have to arrive perfect. So, that's my speech today. And that is the basis. The root problem of patriarchy is the externalization of one's nexus of power. What if you didn't look at anyone or anything or any system to tell you what to do? What if you just knew what to do and you trusted that? So even your mind obeyed your heart. The mind sits under the heart. The mind must serve the heart. The mind is not here to say that the heart's wrong, the heart's going about it. That's too simple, heart. Stop being such a child. Well, that's what this earth is. It's actually a Garden of Eden, and the answers are usually very simple and clear. Very clear. The heart is very clear. It is like a child. And it's the mind's job to quieten down and listen to the heart and not undermine the heart. Then we are drawing power from us. That's the fountain, the heart. Those intuition, that instinct, that intuition, that's the mother moving in us. And that's a very wholesome place to live. There's nothing coming outside of you. Sure, I can ask for people's opinions, but I don't need that. I might just want to hash some concepts out and that kind of thing here and there. But that's different from needing to get other people's opinions or do lots of things for other people, like people please, because I got to do stuff for something external from me in order to get value. I'm giving all the things, I'm taking all the things. Everything's externalized. I think you get my point.